First and foremost, I want to give honor to God. We get to get dressed up and celebrate Easter Sunday and Good Friday and Holy Saturday because he sent his only to die for us. There would be no holiday. There would be no Easter pastel colors and the wide brim hats on Sunday. I too grew up in church. And whether you go to a traditional church or a more casual church, Easter is like the Super Bowl. But imagine if God didn't give us his only. We wouldn't have a holiday to celebrate. We get to dress up because he gave his only. And so I want to first, after giving honor to God, I want to honor the pastors of this house. I thank God for the Connollys. I have had the pleasure of knowing Rob and Nicole Connolly for the past 15 years. And I want to say that these guys embraced me and loved me, and just seeing what they have and what God has given them here, I praise God. And I pray that Rezarec Church continues to flourish, grow. I pray that your church grows so big that this room is too small. So I want to give a shout out to the Connolly girls, Zaria, Mariah, and Sanaya. Y'all are like, well, two of you are adults now, so, and I can't believe that. So anyway, the verse that I was given was Luke 23, verse 34. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And they cast lots. They stripped him of his robe, and they cast lots. And so when I read this verse, I kept thinking, I wrote at least 2 different poems based off of this verse. So I'm going to read them, but I'm also going to freestyle a little bit, because that's what Silent E does. All right, so here it goes. She is the bride, dressed in white, hair done, nails done, everything did, flowing locks down her back, adorned with jewels from head to toe. She glimmers, she sparkles. She was bought and fought for, and yet she puts herself on the corner, selling herself for cheap. Forgive her, Father, for she knows not what she does. Forgive her, Father, for she knows not what she does, because she has put herself in prostitution. The bride doesn't know that there was a price paid for her. The bride doesn't know that the bridegroom tore his clothes, they tore his skin, they tore his back open. Cat of 9 tails on her behalf. And yet still she gambles with her life. She stays rolling the dice. The world we live in continues in its confusion. They sip the devil's coffee. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. They live in confusion like it's their permanent address. And how interesting. The ones who pack up and leave and move away, they're called weird. They're teased, they're ostracized. The blind don't want to see, the deaf don't want to hear, the mute don't want to speak. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, and perhaps one day they may cry out for deliverance, because eventually they will learn what they're doing. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. In a world where right is wrong, up is down, in is out, and good is bad, they live as a people that ride around clueless, enjoying the sin like their morning coffee or their midnight snack, only gaining sin weight to be heavy by the weight that they purposely put on. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, but sometimes they know good and well what they're doing, and they still do it anyway because it feels too good. But aren't you glad that you get a Father who keeps forgiving you? Consuming daily poison and nonsense on the regular. And little do you know that you are already forgiven before you made the mistake. Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. They keep putting themselves on a clearance rack when they are the top shelf. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. The bride who wears white should be preparing for her groom, but instead she prostitutes herself for the sinful world who will only leave her at a corner for mere dollars. Forgive her, Father, for she knows not what she does. And still, knowing this, you would still die for her. Your robe was stripped away from you. You were forced to be in public view, covered in shame and blood, and yet she still turns her back on you. Forgive her, Father, for she knows not what she does. And maybe one day the blind will see, the deaf will hear, the mute will speak. And maybe one day somebody, one of us in this world, will wake up and turn the light switch on. Forgive them, Father. Because eventually, even when you learn what to do, you have to want to do different. Thank you.